All right, so today we're going to be doing a very simple yet delicious recipe. We are going to be making crawfish etouffee. This is going to be similar to the Piccadilly crawfish etouffee, which arguably is one of the better ones around in Baton Rouge. What we have right here, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what the ingredients are. First off, to start the show, we got a 1 pound and 10 ounces of crawfish tails, peeled and deveined. These are store-bought. These were from a crawfish boil that we did on Thursday. We peeled the tails, we took them home, and now I'm going to be using those. So these are from an actual crawfish boil. These we're going to rinse off when we put them in. We got some garlic, we got a pint of mushrooms, we got 5 cans of cream of mushroom soup and 1 can of cream of celery. We got 1 of the Guidry's chopped celery and onion mixture. We got 2 sticks of butter. We got ground mustard and ground white pepper, salt, pepper, Crystal's hot sauce, and some Worcestershire sauce. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the butter, melt it, then we're going to saute the celery and onions. So I'll be right back. I'm going to get that started. All right, so we got the 2 sticks of butter in the pot. We're going to go ahead and light this and put it over medium heat. When cooking with butter, you don't want to get too high heat with butter, because butter will brown and then you're gonna have to throw it away and start over. Get my wooden spoon and start to open these tubs of Guidry's. Now I've gotten lazy. I used to chop my onions and all that, but you know what, there's really no reason for it. There's no noticeable difference in my opinion with the store-bought chopped, or you can get like a frozen bag at some stores, but I prefer these Guidry's. You know, it's got celery, it's mainly onion, celery, bell pepper, all mixed up in there, and it gets the job done. That's all I gotta say. So as soon as these get to melting, starting to melt right now, as soon as they get almost melted, we're gonna add the whole tub of the mixture. I'm gonna play it by ear, but I think the whole tub. I will be right back. All right, you can see the butter is almost completely melted. You can see it kind of like the remains of the 2 sticks that are almost done. It's starting to bubble up a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead, we're just going to put in the onion mixture, and then we're going to salt these up a little bit. Then we're going to put these in after like a couple minutes once it starts to get a little hotter. But I'm going to stir these up and get started. Let's see, incorporate them with the butter, probably salt and pepper them a little bit. Now I'm going to turn the heat up. I'm not worried about burning it so much. So when I come back, I'll be putting in the mushrooms. All right, the onions mixture is heated through. They still need to be sweated down a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and join the mushrooms to the party, and we'll cook them down as well till it reduces a good bit. So this ought to be about 5 to 7 minutes. I'll come back when they've cooked down a little bit. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes. You can see the mushrooms have cooked down, but we want them to cook down a little bit more. They're kind of big. I guess I could break them up like that. But what I'm going to do now, they got a couple more minutes before we add in the soups. But right now, let's add a nice spoonful of the garlic, maybe a little bit more. You know, you never could have too much garlic. I would say if this was the cloves, you want to do 5 to 7, 8. You can't have too much. So let's stir these into the party. Get them going. It's starting to smell good. All right. So we're going to do this about 2 more minutes, and then we're going to start adding the soup. I'll be back with that. All right. So I've opened up my cans to get them ready to put in. I'm going to need 2 hands to put them in. So I'll just go ahead and put the first one in, well, I guess I could put them all in like that. I'm gonna scrape out the bits in there. So I guess y'all don't need to see me put them all in. When I get them all in, I'll stir them up. I'll let you see what it looks like. I got them in. I haven't scraped the cans yet, and I haven't stirred it in. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna scrape what's out of the cans with my little spatula here and get all of it so we don't waste none of it. Then I'm going to stir it up and get it consistent and show you what it looks like. Alright, so At this point, I've got all the vegetables mixed in with the soups. I used a little salt and pepper to season the vegetables when I was sauteing or sweating them down. I've got that incorporated nicely. So the next thing to do is to add the crawfish tails. Remember, I'm rinsing these off because when you get this store-bought, it can have like a real kind of fishy flavor. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of the seasonings here. And just then you don't really want to bring it to a boil. You want to bring it to where it, it's bubbling or simmering, and then it's ready. So it's just that simple of a recipe to make. One of the things I wanted to touch on is that traditional etouffees will start with someone making a roux with flour and oil. That's what we did with this. The soup kind of takes the place of the roux. That's why you didn't see me make one. Also, etouffee means smothered. Okay, so basically this is smothered crawfish. So that's the smothering, and we're going to add the crawfish here in just a minute. Let me rinse them. All right, so I just opened up the store-bought crawfish. I'm going to pour them into the colander. Make sure I get them all. Don't want to waste any. If you can smell it, I mean, you can smell the crawfish flavor. So these are the store-bought ones that we're just going to rinse off that yellow stuff. Now, some people right now are probably cringing, but I'd much rather have a cleaner taste in etouffee with these crawfish tails than one that has a whole fishy flavor to it. So I'm gonna rinse these off. Now these are the ones from the crawfish boil. These will not get rinsed. These I know are delicious because I ate them live. I actually cooked them. I mean, yeah, we cooked them. And a friend of mine, Vic, who was the one hosting the crawfish boil, me and him were the only ones that had the patience to sit down and peel them, and we did, and we split them up. He's doing him I think he's doing him a crawfish pasta. I'm doing my etouffee here. He won't be filming his, I don't believe, but give that a second to drain, and then I'll add these bad boys. All right, right in to the etouffee. Okay. Now the ones from the boil. It's difficult to film with one hand and try to open a Ziploc bag with the other.